Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. So today I'm going to be doing a booktuber shout out video. I haven't really shouted out people on my channel in a really long time, and that's mainly because I haven't really been doing Friday favorites anymore for a variety of reasons. So I used to do shout outs during my Friday favorites, but since I don't do them anymore, I figured it was about time that I shout out some people. I'm very much a believer in paying it forward, and I know that I wouldn't have the subscriber count that I currently do if it wasn't for a lot of different people shouting out my channel and my videos throughout the years. So I always like to pay forward and just point you guys in the direction of some booktubers who I have been enjoying. Also, before I start, just so you guys know, there's links to everyone's channels down in the description, and I always have a link to this booktuber shout out playlist that I've put together. Basically anyone that I've shouted out throughout the years whose channel still exists, I put their videos into a single playlist. So if you're ever looking for people to check out, a lot of the people in that playlist still make videos and still make great content and are still some of my favorites. So the first person I want to shout out is Morgan over at Dictionopolis. I believe that's how you say her username. I think she's relatively new to the booktubing scene. She has like less than 200 subscribers, which really surprises me because I love the videos that she puts out. I'm someone who really loves book reviews, especially like individual book reviews, which is a little bit difficult to find sometimes on BookTube because they're not very popular, and so because of that a lot of people don't do them, and it's just like a personal preference thing. So I'm not saying like you have to do book reviews if you're on BookTube, but she does them and she does such a great job with them. Usually when she's talking about a book, she takes like a theme or a concept or just something that she thought about while reading the book, and she sort of incorporates that into the book review, which I think is really interesting. So it's not always just like a straight up book review, but there's always just some sort of idea or topic that she ends up touching upon while also doing a review of the book itself. She's very smart and she definitely deserves more than like 200 subscribers. Next up is Hoffy over at Bookworm Tales. She's someone who reads an extremely high amount of books. Like, I'm always so surprised at the amount of books that she's able to read every single week. She does Friday reviews, so every week she goes through the books that she has read throughout the week, which varies from like one book, then I've seen it be as high as like 5 or 6 books sometimes. She also reads a variety of things: children's, YA, graphic novels, adult, plays, fiction, non-fiction, you name it, she has probably touched upon it. And another thing that I like is the fact that she actually like really pays attention to what she's reading. So at the end of every month she does a sort of breakdown of what she's been reading. She looks at the different genres, male versus female, and also what country the stories originate from. So she tries to be sort of aware of the books that she's consuming, which is definitely something that I like to see. I highly recommend checking out her videos. Next up is Katie from Effusions of Wit. I love Katie. Her channel is fantastic. I love the books that she reads, and a lot of times if she enjoys a book, there's a pretty good chance I will like it as well. She mainly reads literary fiction and contemporary fiction, but she also does branch out a little bit and pick up the occasional fantasy and science fiction. I just think she's really smart, and I like the books that she picks up, which just sounds really weird, but I feel like the books that she picks up are books that I'm always generally interested in already, and then I sort of use her as like a gauge of whether or not I should end up picking up the book. And then finally is Rose Mannering. She is actually an author as well as a booktuber, which is always really interesting. But again, she's just someone who I really enjoy the books that she reads, and I like what she has to say about them. She doesn't necessarily do book reviews all the time, and like sometimes she just does like quarterly wrap-ups, things like that, but I just find that the books that she reads are books that I'm also usually interested in, and even if I haven't heard of the book before and she recommends it, it always just makes me want to check it out just a little bit because I feel like she makes them sound really interesting. She also has a couple of videos up about just writing and being published and getting published and things like that, and just like her journey as being a writer. I feel like if you're interested in things like that, it's a perspective that we don't necessarily get to see all the time in BookTube, so I always like when she puts up those videos as well, so definitely check her out. So yeah, those are all of the people that I want to highlight in this video. Like I said before, all their links are down in the description, and also I have my booktuber playlist if you want to check out some people who I've shouted out in the past. So yeah, that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching.